Hey everyone, and welcome back to the How To channel. Today we're tackling a topic that might seem a little intimidating at first: doing your own taxes. We've all been there, right? That feeling of dread as tax season rolls around. But trust me, it doesn't have to be a nightmare. In fact, with a little guidance and a can-do attitude, you can totally master this. Think of it this way. Doing your taxes is like solving a puzzle. There are forms, numbers, and deadlines, but once you understand the pieces, everything falls into place. And the best part is, you don't need to be a math whiz or a financial expert to do it yourself. We're going to break down the entire process into easy-to-follow steps. From gathering the right documents to understanding those seemingly cryptic tax forms, we've got you covered. By the end of this video, you'll be equipped with the knowledge and confidence to tackle your taxes head-on. Now, you might be wondering, why bother doing my taxes myself? Well, there are actually some pretty compelling reasons. First and foremost, it can save you money. Hiring a professional tax preparer can get expensive, and those fees can really add up over time. But it's not just about saving money, it's also about taking control of your finances. When you understand how taxes work and how to file them correctly, you gain a sense of ownership over your financial well-being. Plus, you'll be better equipped to make informed financial decisions throughout the year, not just during tax season. So, whether you're a first-time filer or just looking to take more control of your money, this video is for you. We're going to demystify the tax process, answer your burning questions, and empower you to file your taxes with confidence. Before we dive into the nitty-gritty of forms and deductions, let's take a moment to gather our thoughts and our supplies. Just like any important task, a little preparation goes a long way in making tax time smoother and less stressful. First things first, you'll want to make sure you have all the necessary documents on hand. This includes things like your Social Security card, W-2 forms from your employer, and any other relevant financial statements. We'll go over these in more detail later. Once you've gathered your documents, it's time to choose the method that works best for you. Will you be filing online using tax software, or do you prefer the old-school pen and paper approach? We'll explore both options so you can decide what suits your needs and comfort level. Alright, are you ready to become a tax filing pro? Let's jump right in and get started. Think of this step as assembling the pieces of your financial puzzle. Don't worry, it's not as daunting as it sounds. We're essentially rounding up all the documents that tell the story of your income and expenses for the year. The most important document is your W-2 form. Your employer sends this to you, and it outlines your earnings and taxes withheld throughout the year. If you freelanced or had side gigs, keep an eye out for 1099 forms. These are like W-2s, but for independent contractors. Next up, locate any documents related to deductions or credits. Did you contribute to a retirement account, pay student loan interest, donate to charity? Keep those receipts handy because they could save you some serious cash. Remember, organization is key here. Consider using folders, spreadsheets, or even just sticky notes to categorize your paperwork. A little organization up front will save you headaches later on. Section 2. Decoding the tax form maze. Now that you've waded through the sea of paperwork, let's move on to the forms themselves. Don't let the official-looking jargon intimidate you. We're going to demystify these forms together. The most common tax form is the 1040. Think of it as the main hub for reporting your income, deductions, and credits. It might look a little overwhelming at first glance, but don't worry. We'll break it down line by line. You'll notice sections for things like personal information, filing status, and dependents. These are pretty straightforward. Just follow the instructions and fill in the blanks accurately. The real magic happens when we start exploring deductions and credits. These are like secret weapons that can significantly reduce your tax liability. But more on that later. Section 3. Choosing your tax-slaying weapon. Now that we have a handle on the forms, it's time to pick your weapon of choice. No, we're not talking about swords or lasers here. We're talking about how you'll actually file your taxes. You have two main options: going digital with tax software or sticking with the traditional pen and paper method. Both have their pros and cons. Tax software can be a lifesaver, especially if you're new to this whole tax thing. It guides you through the process, does the calculations for you, and even checks for errors. Plus, filing electronically is generally faster and more secure. On the other hand, some people prefer the tangible nature of paper forms. If you're a visual learner or just like doing things the old-fashioned way, there's nothing wrong with that. Just make sure you double-check your math. The important thing is to choose the method that makes you feel most comfortable and confident. After all, this is your financial journey and you're in the driver's seat. Section 1. Laying the groundwork, income, and filing status. Alright, let's dive into the heart of the matter, filling out those tax forms. Don't worry, we're in this together, step by step. Remember that 1040 form we talked about earlier? Well, here's where it all comes together. First up, you'll report your income. Grab your W-2 and any 1099-S you have. These forms have boxes with numbers already calculated for you. Simply transfer those numbers to the corresponding sections on your 1040. Easy peasy, right? Next, you'll need to determine your filing status. Are you single, married, filing jointly, head of household? Your filing status affects your tax bracket and ultimately how much you owe. The IRS provides clear guidelines on their website to help you figure this out. Take your time with this section, as accuracy is crucial. Double-check your entries to avoid any errors. Remember, we're aiming for a smooth and stress-free tax season. Section 2, Unveiling your financial story. Deductions. Now for the fun part, deductions. Think of deductions as rewards for making smart financial decisions throughout the year. They're like little treasures that can potentially lower your tax bill. Remember those receipts and documents we gathered earlier? Now's the time to put them to good use. Did you itemize deductions last year? This might be beneficial if you have significant expenses like mortgage interest or medical bills. However, for many, the standard deduction might be the way to go, especially if your expenses were relatively low. The standard deduction is a fixed amount that reduces your taxable income, and it often simplifies the filing process. Don't be afraid to explore different deduction options. The IRS website offers a wealth of information on eligible deductions. It's like a scavenger hunt for tax savings. Section 3, Calculating your tax liability. Okay, we've reported our income, explored deductions, and now it's time to face the music. Calculating how much we owe. But hold on, don't panic just yet. Remember those tax brackets we mentioned earlier? Based on your income and filing status, you fall into a specific tax bracket. This bracket determines the rate at which your income is taxed. The good news is that our tax system is progressive, meaning you pay a higher percentage only on the income that falls within higher tax brackets. Now, if you're using tax software, it will automatically calculate your tax liability for you. Talk about convenient. If you're filing by hand, the IRS provides tax tables to help you determine the amount owed. This section might seem a bit technical, but remember, we're simply crunching numbers based on the information we've already gathered. Section 4. The homestretch e-filing versus paper filing. Congratulations. You've made it to the final stage. Filing your taxes. You've gathered your documents, navigated forms, and calculated your tax liability. Now it's time to send it all off to the IRS. You have two options, e-filing or mailing in paper forms. E-filing is generally faster, more secure, and reduces the chances of errors. Plus, you'll receive your refund more quickly if you're owed one. However, if you prefer the traditional route, you can print out your forms, sign them, and mail them to the address provided by the IRS. Just be sure to send them certified mail so you have proof of delivery. Whichever method you choose, double-check everything one last time before hitting that submit button or sealing that envelope. Accuracy is key to avoiding any delays or issues with the IRS. Alright, let's talk about everyone's favorite part, saving money on your taxes. We've touched on deductions before, but now let's dive into some common ones that could put some cash back in your pocket. Remember, deductions lower your taxable income, which can mean a smaller tax bill or even a bigger refund. One of the most well-known deductions is for homeownership. If you have a mortgage, you might be able to deduct the interest you paid on your loan. That's right, those monthly payments could actually work in your favor come tax time. And it's not just mortgage interest, you might also be able to deduct property taxes too. Another common deduction is for student loan interest. If you're paying off those pesky student loans, the government might give you a little break on your taxes. You can typically deduct up to $2,500 in interest paid on qualified student loans. Every bit helps, right? Don't forget about charitable contributions. If you've donated to eligible charities throughout the year, hold on to those receipts. You can often deduct a portion of your charitable donations, which not only reduces your tax liability, but also supports causes you care about. Now, let's move on to credits, which are like deductions' cooler cousins. While deductions lower your taxable income, credits directly reduce the amount of tax you owe. Think of them as dollar-for-dollar reductions in your tax bill. Pretty awesome, right? One valuable credit is the Earned Income Tax Credit, or EITC. This credit is designed to help low to moderate income working individuals and families. The amount you can claim depends on your income and family size, and it can significantly reduce your tax liability or even result in a refund. Another helpful credit is the Child Tax Credit. If you have children age 17 or under, you might be eligible for this credit, which can provide a substantial reduction in your tax bill. The amount you can claim varies based on your income and the number of qualifying children you have. There are also credits for things like education expenses and energy-efficient home improvements. So be sure to explore the different credit options available to you. You might be surprised at the savings you could unlock. Okay, we've covered a lot of ground and you're well on your way to becoming a tax filing pro. But before you wrap up, let's talk about some bonus tips to help you maximize your refund or minimize what you owe. First and foremost, double-check your work. Accuracy is key when it comes to taxes, so take your time and review all your entries before filing. Even small errors can lead to delays or penalties, so it's better to be safe than sorry. Consider filing electronically. As we mentioned earlier, e-filing is generally faster, more secure, and reduces the chances of errors. Plus, you'll receive your refund more quickly if you're owed one. Don't be afraid to seek professional help. If you're feeling overwhelmed or unsure about any aspect of your taxes, don't hesitate to consult with a qualified tax professional. They can provide personalized guidance, answer your questions, and ensure you're taking advantage of all eligible deductions and credits. Remember, tax laws can be complex and ever-changing, so it's always a good idea to stay informed and seek professional advice when needed. You've made it to the finish line. You've gathered your documents and waded through forms. Now it's time for the grand finale, sending your tax return off to the IRS. If you opted for e-filing, congratulations. Review your return one last time before hitting submit. Take a deep breath, double-check those numbers and send it off. Keep a copy of your tax return for your records. Section 2. The waiting game, tracking your refund. Okay, you've sent off your tax return, and now the anticipation begins. It's like waiting for the results of a big test, except this time, it involves your hard-earned money. But don't worry, the IRS has you covered with ways to track your refund status and quell those anxious thoughts. If you filed electronically, you're in luck. The IRS offers a handy online tool called Where's My Refund? Simply enter your social security number, filing status, and the exact amount of your expected refund, and voila! You'll be greeted with the current status of your refund from return received to refund sent. For those who filed by mail, fret not. The IRS also has a phone line dedicated to refund inquiries. Keep in mind that processing times for paper returns may be longer than for electronic ones, so patience is key. But rest assured, the IRS is working diligently to process your return and deliver your refund as quickly as possible. While you await your refund, why not treat yourself to something nice with the money you've saved by doing your taxes yourself? Consider it a well-deserved reward for conquering tax season like a pro. Section 3. Staying ahead of the game year-round tax tips. Congratulations, friend. You've officially navigated the ins and outs of doing your own taxes. But the journey doesn't end there. Staying on top of your finances and taxes is a year-round endeavor. Think of it as financial fitness for a stress-free future. Stay organized throughout the year. File important tax documents in a designated folder. This will save you from the last-minute scramble. Review your withholdings periodically. Life changes can affect your tax situation. Ensure your withholdings align with your current financial picture. Knowledge is power when it comes to your finances. Subscribe to reputable financial blogs, podcasts, or newsletters. Keep that momentum going. That's it! You've reached the end of our tax filing adventure, and look at you, a tax-savvy superstar. You've conquered forms, decoded deductions, and sent those taxes packing. Give yourself a pat on the back, you've earned it. Remember that feeling of accomplishment the next time tax season rolls around, because, armed with this knowledge, you've got this. But it's not just about checking a box on your to-do list. By taking charge of your taxes, you've taken charge of your financial well-being. You've gained valuable insights into your income, expenses, and the tax system as a whole. And that, my friend, is priceless. Before you dive headfirst into that well-deserved celebratory snack, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to the How To channel for more empowering tips and tricks. We're here to guide you through life's little and big challenges, one step at a time. Section 2. Stay sharp and keep learning. Speaking of empowering tips, are you ready to unlock a new level of mental sharpness? We all know that staying focused and retaining information can be tough, especially during tax season when numbers seem to swirl around like confetti. But what if there was a way to enhance your memory, boost your focus, and make even the most mundane tasks feel like a breeze? Well, guess what? There is. If you're ready to supercharge your brain power and unlock your full potential, I've got just the thing for you. Click the link in the description below to discover a revolutionary product that's transforming the way people think, learn, and conquer their goals. Remember, investing in yourself is the best investment you can make. Stay curious, stay informed, and never stop learning. Until next time, keep those minds sharp and those taxes tamed.